all to please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Open forum. Any of you?
Shelby, do you want to say anything, or do you want to?
Open forum?
Yeah.
So I guess just for folks that have not yet voted, elections are tomorrow. I know that officials, town manager and others are meeting today as we speak or thereabouts to determine whether or not elections might be postponed because of the weather. There's a whole process with the state, so I don't have an update other than to say they're talking about that, and then obviously to remind everyone of town meeting on the 25th. It starts at 9 a.m. and I think that that's all.
Yeah, we've had some questions this morning about the voting. We've had some people call to ask if there's gonna be a bus to vote, and I said, well, if we're able to put the bus on the road, it'll be first thing in the morning, but
Right.
I guarantee you by noontime, the bus will be off the road, so.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to get pretty heavy later in the day, so I don't have an update. If I get one, then.
Yeah, we'll get it.
Put an alert on the website or?
Yes, so that's a great question, so we'll have to probably coordinate that with
Oh, here.
Westborough TV, the website, and maybe even, I would imagine if there's a change of voting, the fire chief probably through the 911 alert system would do that.
Oh, that's
as
what
well.
I
Okay. No, just the, no.
Thank you.
They'll let you know. Plus, this is even, I mean, it doesn't start till, usually they start at 7, this one doesn't start till 8, and then, yeah,
A little crazy.
so. Okay.
The other ladies.
Huh?
I wonder if the other ladies have any?
So that's a little further down. So the two ladies sitting in the middle, Marilyn Taylor and Karen Nunes, and they are interested in the 2 vacancies on the Council on Aging. So I invited them to come join us today to find out what this is all about. And they may or may not decide to stay, and that's totally up to them.
It's not running out, we'll get the.
Yeah, really. It's like, oh,
I told her I have a doctor's appointment, so I need to leave by 2:30 whether you're done or not.
yes.
It's not because I'm running out, escaping.
She has none.
Okay.
Then let's start with secretary's minutes for February 13th. And before we dive deeply into this, I just want to make sure that everybody understands the acoustics last month were not good. The fan was extra loud, and the speakers on that side of the room, we just had such a terrible time hearing. So the fan is off, it's going to get chilly in here, but hopefully we'll be able to hear. So that being said,
Yeah, maybe by next month, we won't be waiting for an impending nor'easter, and it'll be a little warmer, so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
has everybody had an opportunity to read their minutes?
I just have a couple things, but. On page 2, the bottom page 2, the verbiage towards the end of that line, where it goes, introduce people to, just put the new bus system instead of that.
Instead of people to ride,
Yeah.
who's new.
People to the new bus system.
Actually, could I amend that?
Sure.
I would say to educate seniors on how to use the WRTA via bus.
No,
Isn't
that's
that what
not,
we talked
but
about?
that's not the VIA bus we were talking about. That's a whole separate thing. And that, we're talking about the medical shuttle. So it's a whole different,
It was? Okay.
no, that's, yeah. VIA is, so
I remember we talked, that's what we did talk
Yeah, and
about
we had
that.
talked about that, but I think that, what we were talking about at that point was the WRTA, the medical bus we used to have on Mondays and
You can have
Wednesdays,
Diane.
that we were, that we were told went away. So maybe just to introduce people how to, access all the WRTA services or something. But it was interesting because when I talked with the woman at the WRTA, and I said, we were under the impression, and I said, actually, one of our selectmen even said that when VIA came in, that Monday and Wednesday thing went away. And she said, we were wondering why we weren't getting Westborough people taking the bus, because it didn't go away. The VIA system is a whole separate thing above and departed from the WRTA. So we still have that medical bus Mondays and Wednesdays up to Worcester. She thought it had to do with COVID and all that, but apparently it never went away. But I said I was told it was, and I said one of our selectmen was at our meeting and she thought it had too, and she goes, oh no. But like I said, they didn't pursue it because it was in the middle of COVID and nobody was going anywhere anyway, so, yeah, so there you go. So we have
So
both
should we
now.
add that in there, that it isn't the WRTA per se, it's a subset of it? The medical bus portion of it, something, instead of just the whole WRTA.
Or it could just say how to ride the WRTA systems.
Okay.
How to access all WRTA services.
That works.
Access.
On page 3, I got a recommendation under communications issues. I'd like to just add a little detail to that statement that's there. I'd like to change the end of the first sentence. It starts with Linda Birch spoke and expressed concerns. I'd like to change the rest of that sentence to say, on a request for electronic communications with COA members.
Can you say that again?
So Linda Birch spoke and expressed
Okay.
concerns on, and the rest of the sentence would read, a request for electronic communications with COA members.
That's what
And
she
then,
got.
after the next statement that says a lengthy discussion was held, I'd like to add, it was decided to scan meeting material and send by email to the COA members who would like to get it electronically. So that's
That's
exactly
right, what you wrote.
Yeah. Because we did make that decision
Yes.
at
Yes.
the end of that discussion, and I think it should be
I
recorded.
got this one.
Okay.
Any other?
Just on the page 4, where it says all instructors, I think instead of and, it should be are back.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
And actually, the St. Patrick's Day lunch is the 15th, not the 14th.
Actually, it's the 16th now, but.
It's
But
the
it
16th
should have
now?
said the.
So St. Patrick's Day party, because of whatever's gonna fall out of the sky in the next 48 hours, we decided that it's not supposed to stop precipitating until sometime Wednesday morning and trying to get whatever. So we just moved it to Thursday. Same time, same food, same entertainment, just,
I know, we have it at 12:30,
yes.
I have it at 2 o'clock in Worcester,
You should be okay.
really.
You might miss some of Dennis, but you'll definitely be able to eat.
Huh? Today's isn't today the 13th?
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched it.
Today's the 13th, Wednesday would have been the 15th,
15th. Yep.
and now it's moved to the 16th.
Excuse me, when does a notice go out about that?
They made phone calls to everybody this morning. The girls have been working on the list since about 10 o'clock this morning, calling people.
Did they finish? 'Cause
I don't know, I
signed up
wasn't
and didn't
Well,
involved.
they haven't, Bobby hadn't gotten.
All right, no, they're still working on it, so.
Oh, okay.
Well, they had to do other things in between, so.
Okay.
Alma, can I question, only 2% of the people who walk in the door come from Westborough?
No. No, that's more than that.
Where's that?
So it's,
Under update and program services, second item.
Yeah, I know, but that's not right. That's
Okay.
not the right number. I'll have to pull the papers out again, because I don't,
did you say about 2%?
no. I do know that for the St. Patrick's Day party, we had 61 people, I think, registered and only 21 people checked in. So,
Do you
and there
mean
were a
St.
lot of
Patrick's
Westboro
Day?
people here that day. Huh?
Did you mean St. Patrick's Day?
No, I meant Valentine's Day.
Oh, you said
You
St.
said St.
Patrick's.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Sorry.
That's all right, I've already moved into April, so, yeah, for the Valentine's Day party, 21 people checked in at the kiosk, so.
Yeah, that's, we need to address that issue constantly.
Yep, well,
Did you check in?
yep.
If you didn't, would you please do it now?
Um,
That has a big impact on the programs and so forth that we run here.
yes. We also have the handheld ones, Guido and I are gonna get them out some one of these days when we've both got time and figure those out, because you can walk amongst the crowd and check people in that way. And I also have one of the tax work people that's gonna help out in the office, she's gonna be standing guard at the kiosk to remind people to check in, especially for these big events,
Oh,
because,
yeah, good idea.
I mean, it's crazy. Like I said, we had over 60 people here and 21 people checked in.
You know, and the other part of that is if
Any
you're
other
planning
changes?
to attend with food, you need to make it known before you step in the door, because food has to be ordered and prepared. We make every effort to include everybody, but my goodness, there's quite a difference sometimes. And kitchen does the very best they can, but if you want to come and attend a meal or a coffee or whatever, please call and let the office know.
The deadlines are usually pretty good, and I really have, this has been discussed with other directors at our meetings about people who make, oh yeah, I'll come in and pay for my ticket, and then they don't show up at all. Well, I've ordered that meal, and that meal's gotta be paid for. I know there are a couple centers who send these little reminder notes that, oh, by the way, we're sorry you didn't attend, but you owe us whatever, because it's still costing us money. I mean, you know, it's one thing if you're sick or whatever, but to just, and that's why when you see it in the newsletter, it says all reservations must be made and paid for by this date. There's a reason for that, so, and that's become a little bit of an issue, so we may have to address that going forward. I'm gonna see how things work out tomorrow, but, well, can I bring the money that day? No. Give it to the bus driver, or put a check in the mail. But that's become a little bit of a problem, so.
Linda, I move that we accept the minutes as amended, with the exception of the 2% that is still to be
I'll give
given
Nancy
by
that,
Alma.
I'll give Nancy that, because I have it written down in my office.
Nancy, second the motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
For some reason, I want to say it's 82% or 83%. I think it's 82% were from Westboro, and then 17 was from out-of-town people.
The acoustics were so bad, Nancy.
You couldn't hear it.
Exactly. It was difficult. Okay, town bills and budget.
Well, it's not nice. You'll see in my handwriting underneath the line there, that's how much money we actually have left in the budget to get us through till July. And I can talk about that now, it's a little bit further down the road. And you can see I attached a piece of paper that lists all of the expenses. Almost $6,000, and then we had to repair the stove, which still isn't right. And that was another $782. Those were unintended, expenses. So I've already filled out the paperwork for, to ask the Finance Committee for a transfer to replace that money, because that's what that money's for, last I heard. Because this wasn't something we anticipated, and that takes away from all of our other, even though, like on next month's budget, you'll see a negative amount for repair and maintenance, but it all comes out of the bottom line, so we're not really, so.
Excuse me, the transfer is between one budget line then and
The
another
transfer will
budget?
come from the Finance Committee back into that R&M line, hopefully, so. And then things should be back on track for the rest of the year. So,
Okay. Thank you, Donna. Old business.
Kim is not gonna be here today. She's doing, interviewing for town planner, I think she said. The survey, we're still on target, I guess, for, the end of the month, so, hopefully by our April meeting, we'll have some more information, and we'll be setting up the public meetings for, people to hear what they had to say, what came out of the survey, so. Other than that, I don't have any other kind of an update, so.
Okay. Minibuses.
I just leave that same thing right there on the. So, bus number 2 is still sitting up at Worcester Truck Body. It's been 5 months. Jim Stewart calls every week and makes sure they remember that it's there, and,
Now, this is the one that they're getting the roof.
yeah. Yep. Now I understand why it takes a year to build something, because it's 5 months and we still don't have a roof. We just put a lot of money into the oldest bus, and it's okay. But I really wish we could get our other bus back, so. I don't even think there's anything we can do to hurry that along at all, so. It is what it is. But when you see the fireworks go off over the building and Alma doing the happy dance, you'll know that it's back.
We may all be out there with you,
Yes.
Alma, doing
Yeah.
the same happy
Well, and the
dance.
problem is that the lift doesn't work right in the oldest one, so if I have somebody on the lift, they've gotta be on the bigger bus, and we have 2, sometimes 3 people that need the lift to do grocery shopping, so we have to end up making a couple different trips, because you can only have 2 plugged-in vehicles. Yeah, the drivers do a great job trying to figure this all out, so,
They
anyway.
certainly do.
So, and I already talked about the budget stuff, so.
Okay. Well, we'll move right along. Town meeting.
I think Shelby already said it's Saturday, the 25th at 9 AM. I've been in communication with John Arnold about providing transportation, and I have a driver for that day. I'm not sure who decided 9 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday was a good time to have a.
We did.
I knew that. I knew it was you, Shelby. I
There's
knew
never a
it.
good time.
No, there isn't a good time, but.
There's never an ideal time for everyone.
No, so anyway, I think I'm just gonna sleep here that night before, because I've gotta be here that next night, which is something very exciting that I'll tell you about, but with the exception of our budget, there's nothing else on the warrant that pertains directly to our department. But town meeting is always entertaining, and so.
No, so, just so, town meeting is at Westborough High School in the auditorium,
Yeah,
so, just so everyone knows.
same place it's
Been there
always
for
been.
quite
Yeah,
a long time.
yeah.
So,
We have another library article.
There is a renovation. It's a
Yes.
long warrant. That's
Oh.
available on the town's website.
it is very long, the last 2 or 3 articles are pages and pages and pages, so,
It's about 38, 39 articles.
yeah,
So,
so, anyway. We currently have 2 vacancies on the Council on Aging, and I did put a little blurb in the newsletter, and from that, we have Marilyn Taylor with us this morning, and Karen, no, it's afternoon, right?
It's afternoon.
It is
This one does me in, the fall one doesn't cause me this much grief. And Karen Noons are here, they were interested in the opening, so I invited them to the meeting to see how exciting these are. And then they can decide from there.
Okay.
We had planned to, right before COVID hit, we had talked about reviewing our bylaws and some of our policies and such. And then COVID hit and all bets were off, but I think it's time to take a look at those. There are some grants and some things that somebody said, why do you need bylaws? It's like, well, because sometimes we need them for applications for things, so. But then also some of our other policies, I was looking at them recently. They're posted in the big room, by the way, if you're interested. They just need to be kind of updated and taken care of. It was funny, I had a man who was kind of misbehaving recently, and he said something. I said, you really don't want me to ask you to leave. He goes, you can't do that. I said, oh, but yes, I can. And he said, where's that written down? I go, right over there on that wall. But anyway, I don't like doing that to people, but when people start complaining to me. But anyway.
Is that on our website, the policies?
The bio?
Yeah,
No. Oh, on the town's website?
Yeah.
No, but that's a good idea, we'll put them there. I mean, we've had them
Policies, yeah.
forever and ever and ever, so it's not like they're anything new.
No, but it's
But-
good to have them.
Well, but we also had them before we had a website, so, but after we get them updated, I will make sure that they're on.
Okay.
So I know that John had expressed an interest in doing that. If there's 2 other people who would like to get involved in that process, and we can get together and maybe by, maybe April, but definitely by May, come back with a recommendation to the council. Like I said, I don't see any drastic changes in any of them, but, so,
Okay, good idea.
don't everybody speak up
Can you
at once.
can you get us copies of them?
You all got copies of them in your books when you got it.
Yes.
I know,
And they haven't changed, so.
2006 date is what I found.
I know, and
Is
they
that-
haven't changed.
I know there was one change to the bylaws when, I don't remember the year, but it was when Phyllis joined. We did one pass. Even though I was part of that, I can't seem to find my copy.
All right,
Have
I
that
mean, I
up
have
there.
them,
Yeah.
I will print them and put them in everybody's box, but I do. I know Bill's got the latest copies of them, and probably Bob too, because,
Correct.
yeah, so, okay.
Have to read them.
Well, yeah,
Do you want to schedule that during a regular council meeting?
no, I think if
Subcommittee?
the,
How
no,
would you
if the
like to
committee
handle
meets
it?
separately and puts their recommendations together, then the council can vote on it, because that's easier to do it that way than have everybody, so.
So John is gonna lead that?
Well, I know he was
Does he-
interested in doing it, so,
I would-
um,
I would join that.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought I turned it off. I think that's from here telling me about St. Patrick.
Right.
Like,
There you go.
What's John gonna be doing?
the bylaw, some
Bylaw,
bylaw also.
You know.
You probably should sit on
yeah,
that
I
committee.
actually,
All right.
I'm in the COA meeting. I heard about it. Thank you.
Linda.
Okay.
Who else besides Linda?
Guido and John. Okay. Okay. I knew this would be a quick meeting. The town manager has asked us to, I forget what this one was for. There's two things coming up. One is a quarterly newsletter from the town, and I have to submit something to them for March 20th, which is next Monday. And then there's frequently asked questions, which will be on the department website. I know that how to access the bus and transportation is one of our most asked about questions. Also about the durable medical equipment, and Meals on Wheels is another one. I know that came up on the master plan about Meals on Wheels, and when I responded with that, Meals on Wheels is a federal program. It comes through Springwell. I don't have much control or say or whatever over that, although we do refer people, and Meals on Wheels we now have 4 routes instead of 3, so it's gotten that much bigger over the last couple months. If anybody can think of any other besides the bus, and like I said, those are kind of the big ones. And I'll put something in there about Springwell and elderly housing also. At least the phone numbers and where they can access applications, so.
When you had a senior tax person, the town senior,
Yeah, okay, yes.
will we be having somebody come here to senior center?
Oh, we have a whole bunch of people.
Oh,
Yeah, so the senior property tax work program, people got their paperwork done last week unless they were away. People have started their jobs. I haven't gotten any complaints yet, but it's only Monday. We had 60 jobs. I filled 52 positions. I mean, we have 60 slots. I filled 52 positions, and I have 3 that I don't have anybody that really can fill them, because they were pretty specific requests. We had 15 new people this year, and I think 6 veterans, but older ones, not younger ones. And the program's open to veterans of any age, but I think a lot of the reasons why we don't have some of the younger ones, because they're working, so. Everybody was pretty enthusiastic and hopefully have a good year. We have people here doing Meals on Wheels for Mary Ellen. We have some people helping out in the office. We have people working in the kitchen. What else? We have a couple people that'll help being greeters and getting people signed in. Yeah, I think we have the most people here, but, and I have somebody who, to help Wayne out a little bit with some of the extra chores around here that he doesn't have time to get to. So that'll be a good thing too, so. Anyway. So, but it's funny, because I sat doing all the paperwork for that, and I'm thinking, I invented all this, why did I make this so labor intensive for me in the end? Like, there's gotta be a better way to do this. It's okay. Anyway, so then the thing that I'm very excited about, I was approached a couple weeks ago, and there was a meeting here on the 3rd of the month about it's hard for me to explain what this is. It's a mobile canteen truck that's run by an organization called Clear Path out of Fort Devens. It's to help feed veterans at different events and street corners and so on and so forth. And thanks to some heavy lifting from the Harvard Lions Club, and I guess the Westborough Lions Club was involved in this too. They're bringing the truck here on the 24th. They are doing a ribbon cutting ceremony and then serving dinner to veterans here that evening from 4 to 7 or 7:30. They're really excited because they came in here anticipating all sorts of, like, having to do all sorts of stuff, like renting tables and all. I'm like, no. So they won't be doing that. There'll be a lot of dignitary people here, some of the selectmen, some of our state legislative contingency. And I got an email Saturday evening from some of the people coordinating this, and apparently Channel 5 is thinking they're gonna be here too. I know,
What was the date on that again?
the 24th.
The night
this
before
month?
town meeting.
Yeah, which is why I said I probably ought to just sleep here Friday night, so. So, the only problem with this, little problem, and I'm gonna need some help here, folks, is that, number one, I don't know how many people are coming, but I told them the room only holds about 250, so don't get carried away. And that's if we use all these long tables. The other thing is that we'll be doing our Serve Safe training that day. So there's 10 of us, Guido, and then me, and Kristen, and Stephanie, and Mary Ellen, and Guido, so Bob, Paul, Terry. Anyway, so we're gonna be in that class all day, and we're gonna need some help getting tables set that afternoon. It's just gonna be tablecloths and napkins, and they're bringing all their plastic silverware and all that stuff with them, but if we have a lot of, if we have to use all our tables and whatever, it's gonna take a little bit to do that. So if you have some time early Friday afternoon, like between 1 and 2, and can help put some of this together, I would really appreciate it.
I think I should be able to
Okay,
help.
I'll be there
Okay.
Friday, let me make sure.
Like I said, I scheduled this Serve Safe thing long before I knew that this was happening, and I can't change it at this point. And we will have breaks, so we'll be able to check in, but I would say probably by 1 o'clock, 1:30, we should be able to get at those. Wayne is I got permission for Wayne to stay that night, which is great, because there'll be a lot of trash. Brad is gonna drive the bus that night, so if there are veterans in town who don't drive or don't drive at night, we'll be able to transport them here. It should be a really interesting event. I'm very grateful that we can do this for them. It sounds interesting. And I think just the number of people we had at the meeting, there were people there from the VFW and the Legion and the Veterans Office, and I got to meet the new Veterans agent, nice guy. The Clear Path people and so on and so forth, and Guido was there, and Bert, okay,
From the Lions, yeah.
from the Lions Club. So it's a whole community thing, so, yep,
Are you telling Rummy Cube to cancel?
yes, I will.
I know you have a lot on your plate, and that's
No,
probably the last thing you're
that's on
thinking
my list
of.
to do this Friday, so.
My understanding is that they're gonna be cooking for 200 people.
Okay, we can manage
So
that.
that's what they're expecting. Bill Harris from the VFW is the coordinator, and he's very optimistic. He's been doing a lot of publicity on this now, so he's counting on 200 folks.
Okay,
And the setup is the 24th, that's the 24th?
yeah, that
Okay.
afternoon.
Okay.
Do you want our names or give them to you after or what?
Yeah, if you wanna, just tell me that you wanna come.
Okay, throw
Yeah.
my name in there.
throw mine in
I'll
there,
show up, yeah.
barring any problems.
I'll come.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'll be there.
The,
Guido, are you cooking?
no, well, I'll be taking the class
Oh, that's
during
right.
the
That's
day.
right.
Yeah.
Who's
But-
in the kitchen?
No, the Clear Path people are doing the cooking.
Oh,
The intent
okay.
is to inaugurate this, it's not, they call it a food truck, but it's actually a trailer that was purchased for the Clear Path organization by the Lions of Central Massachusetts. And that's how, the Harvard Lions is the group that put the grant request into Lions International. And all of the Central Massachusetts clubs, including the Westborough Lions, have contributed, because it was a, I forget the percentage share, but there was a share that the local clubs had to donate, and then International put in the rest. And so this is their inaugural dinner. So that the intent is to try to actually serve from the trailer itself. But if weather
Well, no, they're
is
gonna,
bad, they'll
they're gonna
bring everything
serve
inside.
10 meals out of the trailer and do the rest of them out of the kitchen.
Wow, that
That's,
makes
that
more
was
sense.
that was the
So-
last piece of the plan I heard,
Oh,
so.
great, because that then does make more sense, because they said they're coming at 2:30 to set up in the kitchen.
Yeah. Cause I had gotten
Is it
in,
advertised somewhere?
oh, pretty much everywhere, the
It's
posters.
pretty good.
It's on cable. It's, Bill Harris has been to every doctor's office. He's been everywhere putting posters up. It should be on the sign at the bottom of the hill at some point.
It's on the VFW sign.
It's on the
across from the
so
fire
it's-
department there, the
Yeah.
big sign there as well.
And Celia was gonna take care of getting it on that sign and I think on the town's Facebook page, so.
And Roberta Brown has also put
Yeah,
it on
she's
all
got
of
it on the
those.
heart and so it's out there, so.
So your class is in here, we'll be working out there?
Yeah, Bill has also put out something that's going to be published in the Community Advocate
Okay,
what-
good.
this week or
It'd
next
have to
week.
be this week, yeah. Yeah. So, like I said, it should be an exciting event. It was funny though, because I'm sitting there and they're talking about renting tables and chairs and bringing in a PA system and all this. I'm like, no, you don't need to do all that. We have all the, all the stuff. and
Originally,
it's
they
out
were
there.
going to do it in the parking lot under a tent.
At the fire station.
Oh,
And somebody said, you don't know what kind of weather it's going to be.
Yeah.
And you really don't want a bunch of senior
Seniors out in the cold.
veterans sitting outside in the cold eating.
Yeah.
So,
Be here.
yeah, so we were very happy to let this happen here, so.
That's great, Alan.
Yep. So, anyway, okay. I have some good news, and I have some even better news. So I have a couple things that are planned for, coming up in April is the AARP driving class on the, wait, I'll find out, the 18th. It's, $20 if you're an AARP member and $25 if you are not. If you drive a car and you have never taken this class, it is well worth your time. There are some insurance companies that give you a discount if you've taken it, if you're over 65. There didn't used to be any in Massachusetts, but now there are some, and I'm not sure which ones they are, but you might want to check with your agent. But even if you don't, it's worth it. The instructor is awesome. She's done it many times for us. Part of it's on the big screen TV, part of it's classroom. And then when you leave, you don't ever want to drive around the Rotary again. I don't want to do that.
When is it, please?
It is the 18th of April
Thank you.
from 10 to 3. So you can come and have baked French toast for breakfast with the chief and then come in for your class. Oh, my eye is doing this all of a sudden. And then the Assabet computer kids are back, actually next week. No, Thursday, this coming Thursday. The class that was here pre-COVID. They're actually coming back. So if you're having trouble with your phone or your laptop or your tablet, come on in and you'll have one of those technologically unchallenged kids that'll help you with it. And they don't shake their heads or roll their eyes, I promise. They just, like your grandchildren do when you ask them for the 83rd time how to fix something, so.
And when is that, Alma?
This coming Thursday morning,
Ah,
so. And then the other thing I've been thinking about, because it's been through the My Senior Center website, is there are a lot of senior centers that have their own logo above and beyond the town seal. Maybe we need to do that. So I would like to have a contest. I really like the one from Shrewsbury. I would have invented that if I hadn't already seen theirs, but I'd like to have a contest. I did speak to the supporters on, when did they meet? Thursday afternoon. They are willing to give me $100 for a grand prize for the winner, so there's a little bit of an incentive there. I'd like to kick this off probably in May and then announce it to the world when we get started back up in September for our, when we start up for the fall programs. I need to put together a list of the, there's a lot of information on the My Senior Center website about how to do this and rules and so on and so forth. So I will put that together and have that for you next month. And then, like I said, we can kick it off in May and announce it in September. So
great.
some of them are really pretty. I mean, I have to say this a lot. I personally, I like the simpler the better, but the Shrewsbury one, it's it's almost like a CBS Sunday Morning Sun cut in half, and then underneath it says Shrewsbury. It's really pretty. And then some of them have like trees with hands and they're just, some of them are really complicated, but
Was that for it's for the senior center?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, not the council on aging, like the.
For the senior center.
So the
Senior
newsletter,
center.
is that basically
Yeah.
where it would be used?
Yeah. We'd use it on the newsletter and maybe some other like posters and stuff that we do, but, so.
It should be easier than our town seal.
Well, we have a new town seal, so.
Well, we
At
have,
least we have a new town seal.
have an old
Well,
town
a new
seal.
old one. It's the original one, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's a new old one.
yeah, a new old one. At least it's just the Westborough.
Much better.
Much
Yes.
Easier to print.
it was re-gifted.
You already gifted.
Yeah.
Re-stamped.
The other thing I found out the middle of last week, when the governor proposed her budget, she added $2 more per elder into our formula grant. So if her budget passes, we'd be getting an additional $9,286. This is the money that I'm trying desperately to get the extra hours for our staff with I've had, I haven't heard anything from the town hall about that, so I don't know whether they're waiting till after town meeting or what, but that's, we have 4,643 seniors in Westborough according to the 2020 census.
I'm sorry, what was that again?
4,643.
And senior defined as
60.
over 60?
Mm-hmm.
What are you waiting for, town hall?
So we have money in our formula grant for this year that we're sitting in, that I had asked about getting some additional hours for, Sharon for our homemaker, because there's a year-long wait for for homemaker services, for another day for our handyman, because he's kind of swamped. 6 more hours a week for our Asian outreach, because she, to put her up to the same level as our other outreach person. And then 5 more hours for Stephanie and 5 more for Kristen to make them 40-hour employees, because they're 35 at this point. Both of those were choices made by their predecessors, It had nothing to do with, because they're both based on a 40-hour position in the grid there.
Yeah.
And I filled out all the paperwork and stuff when I did my budget for that.
So this is, you're talking about for this current year, or, because there's an article on the warrant, right?
Nope. Not that I'm aware of. I was told I had to submit all that paperwork, and then I was told I needed to go before the Board of Selectmen, so I specifically asked to go to the selectmen the same night they did the safety net presentation, so I didn't have to go twice.
Yeah.
And I never heard back from anybody about it, so I would like to think that we're waiting till town meeting is over and everybody's a little less stressed, so.
But wouldn't those be increases, so that they don't affect the budget, they're just through the?
They don't affect the budget at all,
So,
so.
all right, maybe just, let's talk.
And
about
both of
increases.
the, yeah, that's fine.
I
I
just,
mean,
I don't I guess I don't want to
Okay,
take up time here for the
I'll
questions.
I'll try to explain it better, but, yeah, so we'll have
So
additional
the
money.
money is sitting there, you just want to use it for these purposes?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So,
Okay.
anyway, so we're gonna have more money to spend.
Are they gonna let us spend it?
I
Just to
don't know.
clarify,
That's the
the
next
budget for next year includes those hours, the extra hours already?
No, not in the budget, because the money's not coming from the budget. So this was an additional form that we filled out. I can't remember what the name of it was. Anyway, it was an additional paperwork that we did, that we had to explain why we needed what we needed and where the money was gonna come from, which I did, which it would come from the formula grant. The question that I got was, why aren't you spending this money, what were you spending this money on before that you're not gonna spend it on now? To which the reply is, we had a nurse, and our outreach, one of our outreach people was paid for that. We're not paying for the nurse now because we get Jim through the Board of Health. And the other outreach position was absorbed into the budget. So so even spending the $33,000, give or take it's a little more than 33,000, but there would still be $23,000 left that we could spend on other things. As a matter of fact, our Serve Safe training is going to be paid for out of that on Friday. But like I said, I'm kind of waiting because I'd love to get these people started because it's getting busy. So, getting busy, it is busy. So, and as I said, Friday, there's 10 of us doing the Serve Safe training. This is not our first time. They expire the end of March, I think. So we're redoing it again. I think they're good for 5 years.
5 years.
5 years. I promise I won't still be here 5 years from now to do this again. The Red Sox opening day is Thursday the 30th at 1 o'clock. I know somebody asked, who are they playing? So I had to write it in little tiny letters on the bottom. I can't help it. I didn't care who they were playing, I just knew that we were gonna be doing our thing. And then on the 28th, we have Judge Reardon, he's an associate justice from Worcester County. This is a program that the judges in the state are doing now. They're sending judges to talk to organizations. So we'll be having a conversation with him that afternoon to find out, you can ask him questions or whatever. I think it sounds interesting. Next month, our new senator is gonna be our conversation person. And I might have a really cool surprise for May, so I'm working on that.
Tom Brady.
Maybe he'll come here and tell us he's not retiring again. He's gonna, no.
Can I just go back to the budget piece that you were just sharing? I know that what you were talking about was not out of the dollars, but in the FY24 budget that will be voted on at town meeting, there are additional hours for admin, outreach, case manager, homemaker, Asian outreach, and handyman.
All right, well, I know that Christie presented that when she did her budget presentation, because I was at that meeting that night, and I was surprised to see that.
Yeah.
Because she had just
So
told
that
me
is
that I
in the
had to do
budget.
that.
But that's separate
So
from.
the extra hours are in there, just not the money.
No?
No, well, if the budget's approved for FY '24,
Yeah.
so it's 5 hours for the administrative assistant, 5 additional hours for outreach case manager, 2 additional for homemaker, 4 additional for Asian outreach, and 8 additional hours for the handyman.
Yeah,
So that is in the FY '24 budget that will be presented at town meeting.
okay, all right.
But if there are hours that are needed now that are part of the formula grant and the town has money, it sounds like, for right now, then that
Between
would,
now and the end of
that
June.
would be, that's the conversation, we just need to understand where the holdup
Okay,
is.
all right. See, I don't see the budget part of, when I get the warrant.
Well, the budget, just so everyone knows, I mean, is on the town's website, just so you can go there, you can go right to Health and Human Services and look at the budget book and the information that's there, so it's not.
Yeah, I will, I just haven't had a chance to go.
Yeah, no, I
Look at
just,
the whole
so if
thing.
anyone wants to see that, and Nancy, if you're taking notes furiously over there, it's right on the town's website, I can show you where that is.
Okay. Anyway, so we've got, and the Boy Scout Spaghetti Supper is Saturday, April 1st. I said to Maureen Johnson, you're really taking a chance there having it on April Fool's Day, right? But anyway, and that's a free dinner for Westborough seniors. It's something the Scouts have been doing forever and ever and ever. I was here last year. One year we did it out the back door,
During COVID, right?
a couple of years ago, and then last year I think we had it, it was here. It's a lot of fun, the kids are great, they do a great job, and I guess I could say it out loud, Ian Johnson does a great job cleaning. I saw him in the kitchen, he was going at it, so. The kitchen gets very clean after they're done with all that spaghetti sauce. The RMV Near Me program is going very well. Both of our volunteers have really sort of gotten into it. They've had customers, they've both had customers when they've been here. They've been able to help people get their paperwork and such done and get their licenses renewed and so on and so forth, so it's working well. As soon as we get our other bus back, I'll figure out a day when we can go over to the registry and like take people if they need to get their real IDs or have their picture taken for a license or whatever. And don't forget that shredding day is the 24th of April, Monday. So, and we get at least one call a day about that, so. And I guess the only other business I can sort of report, John's not here, the supporters have put together a raffle calendar for the month of May. They were gonna try to do it for April, but it was too close. But anyway, as of this morning, they had all of their prizes. There'll be raffles drawn Monday through Friday, not Saturday and Sunday, and there will be one on Memorial Day. The community has been very generous, I have to say. Most of the prizes are worth $50 or more. The calendar will be $10 for the month. So it certainly will be a great fundraiser for them, and we did it once before. It was a lot of fun. So those are coming. So I told them they had to get out and sell them, because that's how they're gonna make money. Don't depend on them being sold just here at our events, because that's not gonna do it, so. Anyway, and they did set November 18th for their fair, which is the Saturday before Thanksgiving. Some of that was predicated on the fact that the week before that is Veterans Day, and we do our banquet for the.
Right.
And they didn't wanna do it the first week in November. And then they're gonna do breakfast with Santa. They're bringing breakfast with Santa back, which will be Saturday, December 2nd. So, and they have a tea coming up in when is it, Nancy? May
May.
16th.
Are they running the fair?
Well, they're gonna have to, yes.
Or are we running the fair?
No, we'll have more help this year.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah, so and then I'm working on having Wednesdays in May. We'll have music every Wednesday in May, in the morning, late morning into lunch.
How's that classical music one going?
Really well. Yeah, he's got a pretty steady following in the class. He usually has, I don't know, 10 or 12 in the class, which is nice, yeah. Yeah. The only class I'm really worried about is line dancing, and I don't get it. Because we used to have so many people here line dancing. And it's just, and this teacher, he's awesome. I mean, he's really, really good. He teaches in a bunch of senior centers around the area. He's very kind and very gentle, and he takes it slow so you can learn. And I don't understand why there's not more people taking that class Thursday afternoons at 1 o'clock. I don't know. But the rest of the classes, the Zumba classes are full. Strength and balance, she wants to add another day, which I'm open to. The new chair yoga teacher, gentle yoga teacher, she had some issues at the beginning, not her, some of the people in the class, because this isn't how the former instructor did it. It's like, well, the former instructor's not here anymore, so, you know. And the woman teaching the class now, she's a silver sneakers instructor, and she works mostly with veterans and seniors, and so it's like, you wanted a new teacher, I got you like one of the best ones, so please stop complaining. But I think it's catching on, and sometimes it just takes a while, but I still don't understand about the line dancing. That's kind of disappointing, because he's really very, very good. I've watched him, he's very good. So, anyway, but everything else is,
Actually, I was thinking of trying some of those pool lessons.
those are
I
fun.
used to do that as a kid.
Those are fun, yes. Yeah, he's, Mike's a good teacher. He's, you know, it's interesting on Friday mornings to see who's there playing with him when he's teaching, but, yeah, come and give it a try. So, Mary Ellen's doing a great job. She's got another group, one of the banks is volunteering to do Meals on Wheels. She's done an exceptional job just keeping everybody together. We ordered, so I asked the supporters for money to pay for the volunteer recognition gifts this year. And I said, oh no, I'm not telling you what they are, because you'll be at the breakfast and you want to be able to. I said, no, it's a secret. So you just have to trust me when I ask you for this money, that it's gonna be something nice. Stephanie's got some Girl Scouts that are working on May baskets. They're making 100 of them, 125 of them, so we'll have those. The supporters are gonna pay for the candy to go in those. Yeah, so everything's.
Actually, this is the first year I attended the birthday lunch for January. It was great. It was well run, we even had little surprises there. It was very good. Very well run.
I stay away from the kitchen because you're all down there. I just stay in my office and mind my own business. But no, it's actually a lot of fun, and more people come now for the pizza than come but a lot more people are coming because it's their birthday too. And we had to move it last month because of, oh wait, something fell from the sky. But hopefully we don't have to do that again this year. So. But they have a system down there in the kitchen. It works. So.
It does, and it's fun.
Yeah.
It does not work.
Yeah.
We don't work in the kitchen, we just go and do.
So, but, yeah, so, I mean, it's busy but things are going along, and take it one day at a time.
If I might, since you mentioned the birthday lunch, one of the people that did that for many, many years was Oscar Nigerian. He passed away about a week or two ago, and I just wanted to mention that, again, he was a member of this council for a long, long time. Was our cheese man at the fall fair, wearing a cheese hat and all that, and getting a lot of sales there. And was a great contributor to the council, and just thought.
He was a great guy to work with, yeah.
He used to sit on the stool with his pizza cutter and make
Yep.
sure all that, yeah. Yeah, that was a tough one, so. Anyway, so if anybody has any questions, comments, whatever?
Things.
Motion to adjourn.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Look at that.
No, I just moved it.
And that